Hey guys, Kaz here, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in December. It's a bit of a late video, not gonna lie. I kept thinking I'll film that video, and then just didn't. But now I am, so let's go. So the first thing I read in December was Bitch Planet Volume 2. This one, not as good as the first volume, unfortunately, and I have looked into it, and I think there's a third volume, but it's kind of not this. It's stories set in this universe, and it's been quite a few years and nothing else has come out, so I don't know if anything else is gonna actually come out in this series. It's called an ongoing series online, but nothing's happened for many years, so who knows. So yeah, this is a series, and it's pretty much like a dystopian world where women get put on this planet for like being bad. Maybe they've done a murder, maybe they've done something actually like criminal, or maybe they're just hysterical. Maybe they're getting a bit too big for their boots, so they're put on this planet. And the first volume was really interesting. It's got into this sports that they were doing as well, and there was like obviously a lot of corruption in the place. And then this volume, just like stuff happens, but it just, yeah, it wasn't as good as the first one, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate that it doesn't seem like the series has carried on either. So yeah, who knows. I'm glad I read it though, but yeah, not as good as the first volume. I just wasn't really invested in the storylines and the characters as much as the first one, and also because it's sort of like petered out, maybe other people weren't, maybe the authors weren't, I don't know. After that I read Bone Music by David Almond. I did have this, but I've unhauled it to my free library thing. This one, I don't know whether I just wasn't in the right mind space for it or whether it just wasn't for me, but it was very whimsical, but also not much happened at the same time. Like, I wanted to enjoy it more than I did. So it's basically about this girl who goes to this village that her mum used to live in, and they go there. Her mum's an artist and she wants to just get away from it all and like do some art and stuff. And then she just sort of wanders around the village and meets these other kids, and they make a flute out of a bone, and it's like whimsical, and are there magical things going on? Are there not? But I just felt disconnected to the main character. So first of all, like throughout the book, like every 30 pages I was like, how old is this kid? So when it first started I thought it was middle grade. I was reading it, I was like, fair, so she's an actual kid. She's like, maybe she's 10, and she goes out into the wilderness, and I was like, yeah, but you know, kids can go out walking about, especially when it's a book about like whimsical things happening. And then she meets these other kids, and there was a guy that was like a few years younger than her, so I was like, oh, maybe she's a bit older than that then if this kid's a few years younger, because he's not like that young. And then a bit way through the book they're talking about exams with another guy, and I was like, oh, so she's actually older than that then. And then later on we find out she's 16, and I'm like, what is going on with this book? I thought she was like 9 to 10, and in the end it turns out she's 16. I just feel like there was a complete disconnect of like who this character is, like where she is in her life. It just, yeah. And like I said, it's whimsical. It's about this making a flute out of a bone, but not much happens. But sometimes I don't mind not much happening, but in this one it didn't grasp me as much as I would have enjoyed it and liked it to. But yeah, I thought the concept was interesting, but I was just not interested in reading it, unfortunately. And then after that I read Fence Volume 6, Redemption. This is another series that I don't know what's going on with it, because it's like a few of them came out and then there was several years and nothing was announced about it, and then eventually another one did come out, and then like, are there more coming out? I think they are, but I don't know what's going on with this series either. But this is like a slice of life. It's about fencing and this group of fencers, and I really like the artwork. It's just really, really nice and modern and bold. And yeah, this is a series that I continue to enjoy. I really hope it does actually carry on properly, because the story is very slow in here. Like, it's been going for years and like 20 seconds has passed in the series. I'm like, guys, come on. You know what I mean? But I am really enjoying it, and I do hope more comes out. The characters are fun, the artwork's fun, I like all the fencing and stuff. And yeah, I did enjoy this. Luckily, you see, I did enjoy some things. we're halfway through, so let's head on over to a message for one of the spawns and I'll be back with the rest of the things. So after that, I read the last volume of The Wicked and the Divine. This is called OK. It's volume 9, I believe. Yes, number 9. And this one, again, another thing I really enjoyed. So with this series, I felt like it was really good and then it sort of petered out a little bit, but I did really enjoy this ending. I think a lot of things wrapped up. It made a lot of sense. It's definitely something that I'm going to have to go back to and read all in one go. Now I've got some context for some things. It needs to be reread. But I do like the way that this was wrapped up and I enjoyed the way it was finally brought together, which is good because, you know, it was getting to a point there where I was like, you know, but yeah, it was a good ending. I really enjoyed it. I can't really say much more than that because obviously it's the end. And then do I even want to show you the pictures? Is it too spoilery? Potentially. Here, have just this picture. There you go, that's the sort of artwork. Not that I even showed you the artwork of Bitch Planet, let me just throw that in here. Try and find a page about naked people on. So yeah, Bitch Planet's artwork is not my favourite, which obviously is another reason why it's not as fun to read, unfortunately, but yeah. Let's move on. After that, I read volume 4 of Something Is Killing the Children, and this was so good. 5 stars. It's my favourite of the series so far. This is like a prequel, so the first 3 volumes wrap up the arc of what's happening there, and then this is a prequel many years ago where our main character is a little girl and what happened to her and how she got into this organisation that goes around killing monsters. So this series is about monsters. They exist and kids can see them because kids have an imagination and sort of believe in monsters, but adults can't see them because they don't believe in them. But it doesn't mean that the monsters can't be killing the adults. And yeah, there's a lot of blood and gore and fighting, but it's so good as well. The storyline in here is so good. Let me try and not spoil anything. It's a prequel. Look, here she is as a young child. There's loads of blood everywhere. And that's what you're getting. But yeah, I absolutely loved this volume. I really need to carry this series on because I love where it's going. And I don't know if number 5 is going to go back to the present, if it's going to stay in the past, but either way I'm very much looking forward to it. So yes, that is something I need to get. And then last but not least, the last thing I read in December and in 2024 in general is The Perfect Guy Doesn't Exist by Sophie Gonzalez. So this one I did enjoy, but at the same time I feel like it's probably my least favourite Sophie Gonzalez book, which is unfortunate because I've really enjoyed her other books. I still give this one a 4 stars, but it was sort of like 3.75 to 4, that sort of area, because so with this one it's weird. The main character, she's existing, she writes fan fiction, and then one morning she wakes up and the guy from her favourite TV show, who she also writes fan fiction about, is there in a room existing, and then it goes from there, like trying to figure out what's going on, why he's there, trying to keep him away from people that shouldn't know that he's there and stuff like that. But I didn't necessarily enjoy that whole side of it. It's like past and present. So in the past we're going with her and her friends and her girlfriend and how they fell out. Not girlfriend, like her best friend that she had a crush on, and how they fell out, and it's like all culminating in telling you what happened in the past because now they're like enemies. And her meeting her other new friend that in the present is a big part of the story, and I enjoyed that part of it a lot more than the whole magical dude comes to life thing. I just felt like there wasn't enough of it there. Like I needed like a reason, and it doesn't have to make sense. You can go Freaky Friday. There can be like, you know, it's the full moon and like a crazy witch has decided to put a spell on you or something, or they break a vial and or there's a magic thing, or it just felt like it happened but then there was no reason into it. It was not explained. And like I say, it doesn't need to be explained in a way that actually makes sense. It just needs to be explained. And that kind of like kept me out of it because I was like, but why is this going on? Why has this randomly happened? Like, give me something, give me a reason somehow. So yeah, I wasn't massively into the present with this guy, and like each day is sort of acting out one of her fan fictions that she's written. But why though? I needed something. No, it wasn't there. It wasn't giving me it. But I did enjoy the book in general. I like the characters. I feel like Sophie Gonzalez is really good at writing these characters, and she's really good at giving the drama and the miscommunication, even though I hate that trope, but she does it well. She does it in a way that makes sense, rather than just, I can explain, and then like not saying any words. She actually like has these characters internally dealing with stuff, and then they don't say stuff, and like it makes sense because they're teenagers and why they're not communicating properly. So yeah, I did still enjoy it, but not my favourite Sophie Gonzalez. And I hope she stays away from like the magical things, because I like her contemporary setting of real life. I feel like that's what she's good at. That's what I want from a Sophie Gonzalez book. I don't need like these weird magical things. You've tried it, now go back to the blueprint, you know? Just saying. Personal, that's what I mean. But yeah, those are the things that I read in December. Finally got it out to you. Let me know down below anything that you read, or if you've read any of these, or you know, say whatever you want down there. That's what it's there for. Hopefully I'll have some more videos coming out soon. Like I say, I've just been like, just not in the mood to film. I've just been like, oh, I should film something, and then I just didn't. But I do really want to get these videos out, so yes. I've got a big old haul coming up of all the stuff that I got from Christmas. I've still got my stats I need to talk about. I need to have a little flip through of my journal of 2024. Like, there's a lot of things coming. Hopefully they'll all get out in January, so they make sense. But yeah, do the things if you want. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Not forcing you, do it if you want, but also, you know, do it. And yeah, I will see you hopefully in a few days with another video. Bye.